Response since 1971 has been a crisis center in Suffolk County and beyond. Our core service is our hotline, which is available 24/7, 365 days a year. It's free.
When you receive a call, it could be range from anything from financial problems to people who are lonely to people who are thinking of committing suicide or know somebody that's thinking of committing suicide.
Our core mission is to provide people going through any type of life crisis with that free, accessible, caring human response anytime they might need it. And that would include any kind of crisis up to a suicidal crisis.
It is so very, very important that all of us are aware of the warning signs that people do exhibit when they're going through any depression or even thinking of suicide.
Warning signs for depression and suicide fall into two major categories. There are warning signs that you will hear. Somebody will say something. It could either be a very direct thing that you will hear. In other words, somebody will say to you, "I don't want to live anymore." That's a very direct verbal warning sign. Or it could be more indirect. Somebody might say to you, "I just can't take it anymore. Life is just too much." Or it could be behavioral. Warning signs could be behaviors that you observe.
Behaviors such as isolation, reckless behavior, moodiness, constant crying, unable to function. Depression does affect people not only physically, emotionally, psychologically. It really affects every area of our life, our ability to function in school, at work.
And behavioral warning signs can be direct or indirect as well. A very direct behavioral warning sign would be me saying to you, "Please take this prized possession of mine. I don't need it anymore. I won't have any use for it anymore." That could be a very direct warning sign, or hoarding pills, or researching things on the internet. So warning signs fall into those categories, but understand too that suicide is a very complicated behavior. So you take the warning signs along with risk factors, what we would call risk factors, things that we know about this individual in terms of their family history, or if they use drugs or alcohol, or if there's a mental illness. So you take the risk factors along with the warning signs, and they come together in just the wrong way, at just the wrong time, and we would call that the perfect storm.
Right, so the purpose is really not to fix anything or anybody, and you couldn't do that on the phone, not knowing them and not understanding the history. So the purpose really becomes to help lower their anxiety level and help them through the crisis.
The main goal of crisis counseling would be to lower anxiety so that people can get to a place where they can think through their own best next steps. And that is the main goal of crisis counseling. In addition to the hotline, we have an online crisis counseling program. We have a bilingual hotline. We are back up to probation for runaway and homeless youth. And we have a very active community education program.
Well, primarily my responsibility is to educate and train and supervise some of the all of the educators in the community for response to Suffolk County.
And what she does is she coordinates all of our presentations in middle schools and high schools throughout Suffolk County. We get funding through the Youth Bureau with a special focus on adolescent suicide prevention. So we have educators that go out and teach kids about active listening skills, how to help a friend, the warning signs of suicide and depression, and telling kids about how to access our services.
As a training coordinator, what we're looking for in terms of our volunteers, we're looking for people who are willing to listen, who are open to learning a new way of communicating. We use a lot of active listening skills. We're looking for people who are open-minded, who are non-judgmental, and are willing to learn, you know, a new set of skills.
The training that's received here is, in my opinion, is terrific training. They're very, very careful about how you do it, you follow the rules, you do it the proper way, and there's constant training and constant supervision, and so that you know that you're doing it the right way.
We're also looking for people that are willing to make a commitment of at least 6 months. And they only need to be 18 years or older. They don't need to have any specific type of education or background to volunteer with us.
So on a personal level, what I get out of being a crisis counselor is the ability really to help people that are in need on a one-on-one basis. And that gives me just a lot of satisfaction in being able to do that.
So when I started out as a volunteer here, the thing that I remember being the most fulfilling initially was I felt like I was coming home. It was a new place, I was new to the area, and the other volunteers and the staff were so warm and welcoming. It was like this wonderful pocket of the nicest people in the world, and I looked forward to going there every week. And I really enjoyed talking to the callers. We have such a wide variety of callers, but I really felt like I was helping in a very direct way. And it made me feel like I was contributing something, and there was a real satisfaction. There was an immediate gratification in knowing that I was making a connection with someone over the line, and that I was making a difference right away.
Many people wonder how people find response, and there are many different ways. One way is through our community education program. We reach thousands of Suffolk County youth in middle schools and high schools through our community education program. We also do trainings 2 or 3 times a year at a local university, and in promoting those trainings we reach out to local colleges, libraries, we do public service announcements, we are in the Yellow Pages, and finally another way people find out about us is through the National Lifeline, which is a toll-free number that you can see sometimes when you're driving on the New Jersey Turnpike. We're part of that network. So there are many different ways people find out about us, but we're always looking to let the community know about us. We don't want to be the best kept secret in Suffolk County. We want people to know about us so that when they're in crisis, they know where to turn.